And the films. That's female porn, isn't it? And when they put the films on as well at the cinema, I finally understood what they meant by the phrase chick flick. But a meteorological thing happened that year. It was actually, because those films came out in about 2015. Did you know 2015 was the wettest year on record? Coincidence? I think not. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you know the routine at Hollywood Comedy Club. There's always me, and there's always one more act. He's my fellow co-promoter. He is over there. Ladies and gentlemen, always third on, always hilariously funny, lots of brilliant one-liners for you. Big round of applause from the back all the way to the front. Keep it going to the end of the stage. Matt Taylor!
Hello. Hello. Is this on? Yeah? Hello. So I almost didn't make it here tonight because I told my magician friend Damon I'd help him go and buy a new straitjacket, but I finally managed to get out of it. Yeah, thanks to some people for laughing at that, but I think probably the people who didn't were probably right. It's going to be a good night tonight. We've got Stevie Gray headlining. Means nothing to you, does it? But anyway, it's great. Back from a successful run in Edinburgh. Didn't have a show, just went for a run. I like reading the best jokes of the Edinburgh Fringe, mainly because then it means I don't have to go to Edinburgh. It's quite expensive. But I thought what I'd do is I'd read you some of the jokes because then I don't have to write as much stuff. One of the jokes this year was I accidentally booked myself onto an escapology course. I'm really struggling to get out of it. A bit like my joke, isn't it? I first did about 4 years ago. It's a bit better than mine, though, isn't it? I think so. Here's another joke. Someone stole my antidepressants. Whoever they are, I hope they're happy. Now, I quite like that joke. I mean, I wouldn't use it as part of my set, but because firstly, I think it's not really true, is it? Most people who steal aren't happy, you know, and above all else, I like my jokes to be true. So I've got a new job working for the Secret Service. I can't tell you how pleased I am. Because I mean, in comedy, originality is like the most important thing. I mean, every comedian says that. You can't just stand on stage quoting other comedians, as Bob Monkhouse used to say. The winning joke from Edinburgh this year, I don't know if you heard it.
Cauliflower.
Yeah, don't give it away, don't give it away. Some people I keep randomly shouting out broccoli and cauliflower. I think I might have florets. That joke was considered to be offensive to people with Tourette's. I went to I went to Warwick Castle recently, and I thought I heard somebody shouting at me. It turns out the castle has turrets. But yeah, I just want to give a big random shout out to everyone with Tourette's. I'm sure they'd do the same for me. So it's been interesting. It's been an interesting week, hasn't it? Like Theresa May has been controversial again by giving OBEs and MBEs to everybody who helped her lose the general election. It doesn't really matter because the British Empire doesn't exist, does it? We haven't got an empire. So that's just like making somebody a member of a club that doesn't exist. Like being made a member of, like, I don't know, the Gary Glitter fan club or something, or I think if I was going to be made a member of a club that didn't exist, I'd choose something else, like, I don't know, Dumbledore's Army, maybe. A Jewish branch of the Mel Gibson fan club. So anyway, sorry if my jokes tonight aren't very good, but there is a reason for this. There's also a reason why I've got a hammer, but I'll tell you that later. I actually ordered a book before the summer holiday. I thought I'm going to read this book over the summer holiday. It was recommended to me by Nigel Lovell, who headlined our July show. And I ordered it. A book about how to write comedy. And when it came, and I opened it, it wasn't a book about how to write comedy. It was this. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Louis' Revenge. The story about an abused horse. Story about an abused horse's search for justice with the help of caring animal charity workers and his horse friends. So I haven't got many jokes tonight, but I know a lot about... I do know a lot about horses. It's loosely based on a true story, which means you have to decide which bits you think are true and which bits aren't. Like, for example, all the horses can talk. So I don't know about that. But what I found was, after I read this, not only did I realise that horses could talk, but it turned out I'd started talking like a horse. So like, my daughter wanted me to give her a lift somewhere, and I was working, and she was trying to rush me, and I said, Scarlett, there's no quick way to learn dressage. Yeah, but all these horses, yeah, they all can talk. And they all live in this place called Horsetown. It's a real place. And apparently Horsetown's quite a progressive place. It was the first place to have a female mayor. Like I said. So what else has been happening since last time? Well, my daughter lost her job in a bakery for putting her hair in a bun. That's my favourite joke of tonight. Doesn't get any better than that. My other daughter's got a job working for one of those no-win, no-fee claims companies. That's Rachel, that is, or as I call her, the accident that wasn't my fault. I did that joke at a spoken word night a few weeks ago. I had to explain it was just a joke. I don't even have a daughter named Rachel, I made it up. I'm not even real. If you're ever thinking of going to a spoken word night, don't. Set the alarm off. Yeah, just don't. It's bad memories. So, I was in bed the other night and I heard this big bang downstairs, so I went down to see what it was, and it was a new universe. I did a gig this year, I like space and things like that. I did a gig on the eve of the anniversary of the... No, it was actually on the anniversary of the moon landing, and I was writing jokes for it the night before, but I was having to look after my kids, you know. I mean, do you know what it's like when you're trying to write a joke about a lunar eclipse, but your son keeps getting in the way? And it's good that some people laugh at that. Some people sitting there thinking, that's not how a lunar eclipse works. But I like that, because that means that's a special kind of laughter when people laugh at that. That's the laughter of scientific ignorance. But some of my jokes are scientifically accurate. Like, for example, everybody knows if a man jumps out of a plane wearing a dress, he won't fall as quickly as if he jumps out of a plane not wearing a dress. That's just the effect of drag. My daughter came home from school. She'd been doing a project about old forms of transport. She showed me this. She said, do you know what this is? I said, no. She said, it's a horse-drawn carriage. I said, it looks nothing like a horse-drawn carriage. She said, that's because it was drawn by a horse. Do you know how long I spent trying to figure out how a horse would draw a horse-drawn carriage? Just like that. But I'm no good at art, as you can see, which is good. I went on a course once to get better at art, and on the course details it said, on this course you'll learn to draw like you've never drawn before, and afterwards I handed in some work and my teacher wrote on it, he draws like he's never drawn before. That's teachers owning it for you. You know, like I went out with a history teacher once, she said she'd show me a good time. It was the late Victorian era. Her son was bored. She said, why don't you pretend to be France between the years 1940 and 1944? That should keep him occupied. He didn't want to do it at first, he did put up some resistance. But eventually he gave in to the power of the Nazi war machine, as I used to call it. But the late Victorian era was very different to now. Wasn't it? Like, we had this huge empire, like the biggest empire in the world, but turns out it was based largely on slavery. And nowadays we've got the world's biggest Primark, so totally different. That joke about Primark wasn't very good, that's because I got my little kids to write it for me. While I was reading about horses. So we're talking about teachers. In the school where I work, 2 science teachers, a biology teacher and a chemistry teacher, recently got married to each other, which surprised us all because there was no chemistry there as well. Did I say that wrong? I didn't know. There's a biology teacher and a physics teacher recently got married. Some people didn't even notice that I said it wrong, did they? You just laugh at anything, some people. Even if it doesn't... Why do I make it? I should just say them all wrong, it still work, wouldn't it? No, it wouldn't work. Anyway, 2 teachers in our school, a biology teacher and a physics teacher, got married. There was no chemistry there. Anyway, after that, one of the teachers came up to me and said, you did that joke, but it wasn't, it was a biology teacher and a chemistry teacher. I said, you know what, this is kind of true, isn't it? And I did this gig, and one of my ex-students was in the crowd, it wasn't planned, and I did that joke, and she went, that's true, that is. Never had that before. Yeah, I did that joke, and I said, they said it was a biology teacher and a chemistry teacher. I said, yeah, but joke writing is not an exact science. Someone came up to me and said, I heard you do that joke, but I heard a comedian on the television do a joke a bit like that. Do you think you should still do it? I said, I don't know. What if that's a comedian who's died, though? Is it okay to still do it then? They said, yeah, so that's how we ended up hiring someone to kill John Bishop. Scientists have discovered that the best peers in England, in Britain, are they are in England, Blackpool Peer and Brighton Peer. I read that in one of those peer review journals. And the worst peers is Piers Morgan. Hey! But the world's gone a bit mad, hasn't it? Like card shops are a bit mad. Like, I saw this card the other day when it was buying a card for my wife's birthday. It said, to my wife and best friend. So we're supposed to be sending cards to people now, congratulating them on having an affair. 2 of our friends found out their marriage was in trouble and they tried to save it by becoming nudists. I say it surprised us, we've seen the cracks appearing for some time. say if you ever have to give a speech to a group of nudists and you get a bit nervous, just picture them all with their clothes on. I like that one. So, things aren't always what they seem, are they? Like, my wife went to a baby shower, and turns out it wasn't a shower. That's right. And she was expected to take presents with her. What sort of sick person calls something a shower? It's not a shower. Pregnant women and Nazis. Spoil it now, no? That almost went, actually. So for my parents' birthday, I booked their house for the KGB. I mean, I bought them an Amazon Echo, sorry. And I said to my wife, do you want an Alexa? And she said, why would I want something in my house that listens to everything I say? I said, you're always having to go at me for not doing that. I thought I'd contract it out. At the end of every day, I'd just say, Alexa, play me the highlights. So I got this hammer with me. This one should have gone as well, shouldn't it? I got this hammer with me because, why have I got this hammer? Because on the way here, I found a dog that was clearly lost, and I phoned the RSPCA and I said, can you come and collect this dog that's lost? And they said, no, we only collect animals that are injured. So I took it home and got a kennel, didn't I, for it? Although I was once voted by someone at school to be the person most likely to grow up to be a serial killer. He's dead now. Cheers, I'm in that Taylor, thanks.